Hi Leo, welcome to your reading. If you guys are new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Leo and Aquarius on Fridays. Also, the deck that I'm using today is called the Morgan Greer Tarot. And as always, for those of you guys who are interested in getting a personal reading, my information is in the description below. So I do just want to give you guys a heads up that sometimes the cards like to flip over in the deck. As you can see, we already have this Queen of Cups that flipped over, but I usually don't take those cards. I really only take cards that jump out like these ones have. And usually when they jump out in groups that are too big like this, I'll go ahead and put them back and continue shuffling. But my main goal here is to get you guys roughly 8 or 9 cards, and then we can get started on your reading. So I'm just going to continue shuffling until I pull roughly 4 or 5 more cards, and then we can get started. All right, Leos, so I do just want to give you guys a quick reminder that in case you enjoy the reading, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like or a comment, but your overall energy here is the Fool card, which is actually a really good energy to have as your overall, because the Fool is very representative of new, fresh beginnings and energy, right? So a lot of times I tend to sort of take the Fool and associate it with just kind of leaving everything behind, right? All of your old baggage and energies and starting something anew, right? So as you can see here, this person, all he has are this small bag's worth of belongings, a stick, and his dog, right? So not a whole lot from his old life. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you are sort of beginning anew here, right? And that's what the Fool is best known for. The Fool is the very first card in the Major Arcana in the tarot period, right? And then with the Major Arcana, it's the card that precedes the World, which is the final card, right? So I'm getting that for a lot of you guys, you're really doing a lot in the way of changing and really finishing off chapters that you may have been sort of left pending is the word that I'm hearing. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you may have left a lot of things kind of up in the air or maybe needed to be done, something like that, but now they're finally getting fulfilled to the point where you're happy is what I'm getting. That being said, I do see that this new energy brings with it some new problems because we have the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups both in reverse. So this to me is very interesting. First, I want to point out that the King and the Queen of Cups, Pentacles, I believe I've been saying Cups this whole time, but I think for a lot of you guys, the fact that you have these energies here in reverse tells me that you're doing a lot in the way of avoiding or even distracting yourself when it comes to your finances and physical stability, right? So I refer to them as the King and Queen of Cups, but they're actually the King and Queen of Pentacles. So that leads me to believe that you guys are experiencing right now something where you're trying to sort of hide your emotions behind your stability, right? Behind your material wealth, behind the things that you own. So I would say that right now is a really good time to really go deep within yourself and try to figure out everything it is that you care about and what things are, the ones that matter most to you. Because this Hermit energy is very good, very energy is very conductive to that kind of thinking, right? And I just want to point out all of this Pentacle energy that we have, all this very earthy energy. We have the King and Queen, of course, as I mentioned before, and then we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse, the Ten of Pentacles, and then we have the Hermit, which is representative of the earth sign Virgo, so that's even more earth energy to sort of tack on to all of this. But either way, I'm getting it for a lot of you guys, money is on the table, and it's a very important point of contention here. And okay, contention might not be the right word because that sounds a little bit argumentative, but it's certainly a point of interest. Either way, I do want to mention that the King and the Queen are soulmates, right? So whenever we see the king and the queen of a suit, it's because they're, meant for each other. They're together. They understand each other on a deep sort of soul fulfilling level. But because they're both in reverse, it almost feels like the connection is what is suffering most here from this circumstance. So it's almost like you were almost destined to meet by chance meeting, and then by just a little bit, by just a hair, you guys miss each other, and then it turns out that you don't meet, right? Something like that. But I don't think it's so much like you didn't meet this person. I feel like it's that the connection doesn't take off the ground because there's some issue with stability here, right? And remember that stability, especially the kind that the king and the queen represent, isn't always necessarily representative of the materials, right? Of the stability, of the physicality of it. It can also be representative of your emotions and how you deal with those, right? So if you're taking all your emotions and kind of bottling them up in a way that is unhealthy, that will also cause this king and queen to be in a very reversed energy, right? And I feel like you guys know this and you're really working towards it because we have the 5 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles here, both in reverse. So the 5 is a factor of 10 here. So we have sort of this, it takes 2 kind of a thing. So we have 5, 5, 10, and then we have the king and the queen, right? So it takes 2. And I'm getting here that the king, I feel like the king is taking in this queen. Or it might actually be, for some of you, the role might actually be reversed because I'm seeing this woman taking this man here who's been injured. But either way, I'm seeing that for some of you guys, you're taking someone in from out of the cold, right? And that could be in a very materialistic way. But I'm thinking that for a lot of you guys, this connection has some history. And perhaps in the past, you've burned each other or hurt each other in a way that has caused the connection to either have to take a break or end entirely or no communication, right? So scenarios like that. And now it's like a new period of time is opening up and you're receiving sort of this healing. And this doesn't necessarily have to have happened yet. I'm seeing, especially here with the Hermit card and this 7 of Cups, that there may very well be a possibility that either you or your person is in this Hermit energy where they're sort of separated away from everyone, really thinking about what it is that they want and really going over and over and over like the ideas and the options and stuff because they have the 7 of Pentacles here. Sorry, 7 of Cups. And there I go again, sort of putting the pentacles on top of this cup energy. But either way, the 7 of Cups talks about fantasies and daydreaming. So I feel like what this daydreaming element is this 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody's daydreaming about being held, about being brought in from the cold, and about being accepted, and about even forgiveness. I feel like there's sort of this energy of like, let's work things out here with the 5 of Pentacles because it's in reverse, and you can see that this woman is taking in this person. But I feel like that's sort of the more idealistic portion of what's going on. I feel from like a more pragmatic point of view, there is this King of Pentacles approach here where this person is a lot more worried about the logistics and the practicality of what's going on because we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So, that's romantic in its own little way because they're thinking about long term. They're thinking about like, would I be compatible with this person long term? And sort of this, that, and the other, like family rearing and that kind of topics, those kinds of topics, I should say. But because this 10 of Pentacles is in reverse, it feels like to me that this person is almost too worried and too hung up because remember that the King of Pentacles is also in reverse. So some of that natural like charisma and confidence is kind of gone when it comes to the King of Pentacles. Either way, because it's in reverse, I feel like they're too hung up about what's happened in the past to really open up and let things come in. And, the last 2 cards that I really want to talk about here are this 8 of Swords and this Strength card. So first of all, the Strength card is a really awesome card to have because it assures you that you will get through everything that's on your mind, but also at the same time, the Strength card is representative of the sign of Leo, which means that you guys are very much within your own energy right now. And this is sort of party A, and then we have party B over here that feels in this Also, when I said Party B, I heard Cardi B. So I feel like for some of you guys, you might be listening to a lot of Cardi B. Maybe your person is listening to a lot of Cardi B, right? So that's just a weird specific message for someone out there. But either way, the other person here feels trapped in this situation. And it's certainly this king here where they're too worried, they're too hung up, they're too nervous and not willing to take the risk here that this Queen of Pentacles is willing to take. This Queen of Pentacles is a lot more idealistic and willing to really jump into the situation if it means her happiness, but this guy's a little bit more hung up on it. Either way, I see this really powerful Fool card energy, which is going to disrupt this sort of status quo that we have going on here where there's a lot of inaction, and we're going to start to see a lot of action, a lot of movement. But that was your reading first time around, Leo. If you enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new videos for Leo on Fridays, and in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.